right here. I'm right here.
Brews and Banner Podcast. Brews and Banner Podcast.
Okay.
What up? Welcome to Brews and Banner Podcast. I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, is the legendary Brew Crew. What up, fellas?
I got water, I got, juice or whatever. He's like, y'all need twin legs? Matter of fact, I do.
My question to everybody is,
does Delaware have an actual culture?
this is the podcast that we talk about beer, but we also talk about a lot of things that's happening in the world, politics, movies, anything really that comes to our mind while we're here sampling these brews. Grab a drink and pull up a chair.
It's the bigs for me.
Mm-hmm.
God, no. That's that bass, boy. That was crazy.
I think my phone done picked up some extra bass in it. I don't know.
Yeah, that was bass.
Took off the governor. Put it to them settings.
What up? Welcome to Bruising Banter Podcast, where the topic is the rockin' and the brew. We're happy to fuel. And I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, the legendary Brew Crew. What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
Hi.
What is going on, everyone?
We are here for episode 132 of the podcast. 132. Woo! That's a lot of podcasts.
Really? That's hilarious.
That's a lot of podcasts. It is a lot of podcasts.
We've been around.
But we do have a special guest with us today. And Dev is going to give us a little insight about her, and then we're going to bring her onto the stage. So, Dev, you want to do that?
Yeah, no doubt. So, I came to know of our guests through another IG platform that I tune into on Thursdays. It's called The Pairing. The actual platform is really talking about, powers and partnership, things like that. Whether you're dating, whether you're, looking to or already married, or if you just have a girlfriend or boyfriend, significant other. But anyway, that platform is as a collaboration between Wine and Cheese Inc. and the Brothers Brunch. Shout out to Natalie and Kevon for their platform. But that's how I came to know of our guests, Hazel, who does strategic partnering and our business coaching and consulting for a firm that's Weinstein, Williams and Associates. So hey, look, I said no, she was dope. She had a lot of good commentary to add to the pairing, just in terms around powers and partnerships. So I said, hey, look, she seems like an interesting person that we could bring her on and and learn about how she got started, how she grew her business, and hey, that's why she's on this platform.
All right.
Young up and coming.
Without further ado, bring it to the stage. I sound like
Coming to the stage.
Coming to the stage. Who is that?
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Big ass suits and that toupee.
Whoa. Finally got rid of it, right, Lil?
I don't know. He sound like
his hair.
Arsenio Hall to me.
But that's not what Arsenio say though.
Right.
He did sound like Arsenio's though. Remember when people used to say Arsenio's with the S at the end? Don't watch Arsenio's tonight.
I was merging both powers together. With two powers combined, I
You
will
are
form
super host.
Rob the host.
Right.
Super Negro host.
Black man who talks over the
It's
mic.
your boy Rob G. Without further ado, let's bring Hazel Ballard to the stage.
Hey, guys.
Welcome.
To the stage.
Here we come.
Happy
Here
fellas.
she comes.
Happy Sunday, fellas. Happy
Here she
Sunday.
comes. She wanted
Sunday
to.
to
She
you.
wanted.
Say that again.
What'd you say, Dev?
I don't know. Dev's not allowed around the Wi-Fi no more, so it's hard to tell.
Oh yeah, because he is. I think he is tapped out.
You
Or
can
he's
see her.
tapped
I
a little
can't.
bit. Oh yeah. You,
Issues
it is
with my-
you.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah, my shit is crazy. Hold on.
All right. Well, while he gets himself together,
While he gets his shits together.
while he get his thing together, we always like to know, before we even get into the good topics and all that stuff, we always like to know what people are drinking. So, if you are drinking something, what are we drinking today? And since Hazel, you are our guest, are you drinking anything today?
I am drinking something. I'm drinking, well, I probably need to refill my cup soon. I'm drinking some Appleton rum and some guava juice.
All right.
Oh, that sounds tropical.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very, very refreshing.
That sounds
It actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever had guava juice straight. I mean guava juice.
Yeah.
That's normally mixed in something else.
Yeah, hers is mixed with rum.
Well,
Right.
no, I'm just
That pure 100% guava though, you never
Right.
had.
It's
always mixed with like
pineapple.
Yeah, mixed with apple juice or something like that. Yeah. So that's straight guava, Miss Hazel?
Yes, straight guava. Well, being where I am, in a next close to the Caribbean, off of the Mexican or Mayan Riviera.
You see that, guys?
Say
You hear
that?
that? Being where I am.
Being where
I am. Yeah, no, you can get the
Well,
guava right off the tree.
I'm trying to tell you, you can just walk right out to the corner. Somebody pull up on their little cart, give you some guava, give you mango, give you sour sop, and you know.
Right. Press
Go
that
back.
for me, please.
It's like Lula when my man said it's like orange juice in Colombia. It's like orange juice. So guava probably like right there. Bang.
Right.
Wow.
I got you. All right. All right, Lou, what you drinking on?
Man, I don't know how this tastes yet. I haven't tasted it yet. But I got a Hefeweizen. You saw it, Rob. This is this is more Devon Speed. It's from Germany. It was actually imported from Germany. It's a grapefruit Hefeweizen. It's an unfiltered Hefeweizen beer with grapefruit juice and natural flavor, colored with beta carotene. That's the stuff that makes carrots orange. So I guess that's why it's really orange. Like I said, brewed and bottled in Germany. I'm trying to see an ABV on here. I can't find it. It's 3.2 alcohol by volume. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a very summertime. It's grapefruity, very summertimey beer. This is what it looks like in the
water. That's water right there. You drink
water don't have no percent alcohol content, so it's not water. It's definitely not that. But yeah, let me
like it. It's the water's cousin.
No, that's not water's cousin. No, that's tasty though. I like that. I don't really like grapefruit juice, but this is actually pretty good. Yoda, you would love this. You would love this. Pass me another. Cheers.
Russell Johnson said he was drinking Solnac cognac.
Cognac.
Jesus.
As soon as you hear cognac, you just think just
anytime that G silent
pouring up on a Sunday.
Like lasagna, cognac. It's trouble.
Yo, what you drinking on?
That yak. No, I ain't drinking that.
With a G. You going yak with a G, bro. You gonna die. Be responsible.
Since we got so many New England brewing company beers.
Still ain't got them beers yet. I'm gonna holler at you, Rob.
Yeah, I got this bourbon barrel aged imperial stout. Trooper. And it's the play on. Look, see, I got the Trooper from Star Wars on the King.
What's the name of it again? Say the name again.
It's Imperial Stout Trooper.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah. 302 Yoda. You know, we're just gonna go along with
Yoda.
Yeah, we're gonna go along with the whole thing. But this is from New England brewing.
Oh, I get it. Yoda and Star Wars.
Yeah. Connecticut, right?
Yeah, you're slow.
Yeah. Shout out to Jimmy,
the Jimster. This is a 9.5 alcohol.
Okay.
Hey, hey now.
Didn't know that before I poured it. I should have known because it was barrel aged bourbon, but yeah, I don't know. But this is what it looks like in the glass. I didn't really drink it yet. I got it in my Black and Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
But,
that's beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, and guess what? It tastes like liquor.
It looked like liquor.
That tastes like
liquor.
liquor.
Like yak. That looked like yak.
I said, yeah, I knew I had that yak.
Jesus.
But it's really good. It's really good though.
Okay.
It's really good. I would pass me another.
Didn't disappoint.
All right, Doug, what you drinking on?
sorry, fellas and lady, for my technical difficulties just a moment ago. But I'm drinking something that also has a grapefruit in it. This is Dewey Beer Co.'s Secret Machine pineapple, grapefruit, orange sour.
Okay.
Here's this their can here. I'm at the beach this weekend, and so I figured I would definitely get something from Dewey Co. because I was down here like a couple weeks ago and couldn't catch it. They closed on me. So this one is a 7% ABV. Don't clown me for my little plastic clear cup.
Boo!
Right. I didn't bring them to my glass.
I was about to say you knew you was going to be on location.
I know.
You could put your glass in your pocket.
And then all the places there, it's like 1,000 glasses you could have got.
Dewey Beer Co. at Dewey Beer Co. I'm sure they got a glass, bro.
I didn't go to Dewey Beer Co. Even
the hotel cup.
I went across from my hotel. Right. I'm like,
you didn't even go to Dewey Beer Co.
The things that you forget.
He said I was down here, so I had to go to Dewey Beer Co. and never went to Dewey Beer Co.
Well, meant to say I had to go with a Dewey Beer Co.
There you go.
But better said. However, I'm like, it's always something you forget when you leave for vacation. However, the sour itself, it did not disappoint. It is basically a nice fruit sour, but more hints of the pineapple that you get from this. I mean, you taste some grapefruit, but it's a good cup of orange juice. That's what it tastes like.
It looked good. It looked like a cup of orange juice.
It's really good. I got a 4-pack, so
I think it's the cup. I think the cup got you feeling mimosa.
It does give you mimosa vibes from the taste. You're right, it does give you the mimosa vibes. I got a 4-pack, so
is the machine? What's it called? Machine? What kind of machine?
Secret.
Is that like their?
I think it's like a series or
like campaign or something. Yeah. That's what I've heard it before.
They had
quite a few of them.
Blue can. Next to it, they had this one, but they were all named.
Is it always sours? Do you know if it's always sours?
The other one
sour series.
Sour
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha. I went with this one because I said pineapple, grapefruit, orange. Let me go with that. So very mimosa, Pass me another.
You're getting better at that.
Right there. Bam, my boy. Nice.
I feel like he'd be practicing.
You can tell how that finger went up there though. He was like lining it up first.
He was lining it up
to the
back. Hey, Rob G.
Yes, sir.
I saw you a couple hours ago, but it's still been a long week for you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You are the captain of this crew. You always have a beer. What would you happen to be drinking on this week, sir?
I as well as drinking on
I as well.
But I'm actually drinking their Thrills series. I don't know if you can see that right there.
You got a 4-pack of those?
Nah, I got just this one.
No,
it's their collaboration with Four Scores out of Gettysburg, I think. Shout out to the homie Brian for the hookup. He actually gifted me this because this actually has Frosted Flake cereal milk, Madagascar vanilla, cookies, and berry swirl, and it smells like cereal milk.
So how did it?
Is that stout? Is that IPA?
Cereal milk?
It's leftover cereal.
I guess was he eating cereal? You know what?
Give me that. I need that. Everybody eating cornflakes today. Everybody
like, yo, you done?
What sour was that?
Boy, you got COVID in the king.
They boiled it off. They boiled that off. They boiled the COVID parts off.
And it's delicious. If this what COVID tastes like, I want more of it.
In fact, Rob today.
There you go. It's a thick one. It ain't clear at all.
It is thick in there. It do look thick. What kind of style is that?
It's a sour.
It's a sour. Okay.
It's 5.25% ABV.
You said it?
Okay. Huh? I probably didn't say it. I mean,
I think all of them.
Yeah, but I think Thrills and Secret Machine are.
Gotcha.
This is the one that you can't. You can get Secret Machine distributed. This is the one you got to line up for and wait to get in line for and stuff like that.
Why y'all think they do that?
Man, it's like the New Jordans.
Yeah,
right. Why they do that?
I mean, I think it's because they're a limited edition. I mean, how many bowls of cereal can you eat to get enough to make this beer?
Listen, man, there's a lot of Frosty Flakes out there.
Yeah, It's only one team out there. I mean, one team is eating. I mean, I'm sure they. I wonder if it says cereal milk. I wonder if they use the cereal as well.
Hopefully,
yeah, I was about to say they.
I hope it ain't
that.
somebody's cereal that they. Ugh.
I'm sure. I'm sure it was somebody eating cereal.
Nah, man,
like, you know,
every the morning of the brew, everybody had Frosty Flakes. Everybody at work had a little bit of Frosty Flakes.
And Robert over there going
pour it off.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Bill. Thanks.
It's levels. It's levels to the cereal.
Is it a little bit of saliva mixed in the ingredients in there?
That's probably what that. It's a little taste of menthol in the back.
Yeah,
No, I'm just joking.
a little punchy.
It's also levels to how you eat your cereal. Whether you go traditional bowl, whether you go that good Tupperware bowl. So
you know what's funny? I can't eat my cereal. I can't eat cereal with a plastic spoon.
You can't. I
don't think I've ever eaten it.
I don't do that.
I can't. I tried it before.
Yeah, if I'm at a hotel,
I wouldn't, but I can. I definitely. The cereal's getting done. Whether it's a plastic spoon or some silverware around.
Right. All right. We ain't here to talk cereal.
We here to talk cereal.
You brought it up, Rob. Right.
Actually,
You absolutely did. You absolutely did. You shouldn't have brought the beer. You shouldn't have brought the beer around.
Cereal.
That's a little bomb because it is a flavor bomb. Maybe that's what that means. I don't know, but it is a flavor bomb. Boom boom.
Last question. What boom boom. Well, last question. What's the flavor bomb that you is exploding in your mouth? Yeah, you heard it.
It's exploding in my mouth. You can tell. There's a punch of vanilla, but definitely the berry swirl is very prevalent. The cereal milk is more on the nose when you crack it open and you take it in the aroma. So obviously it has some lactose in it. I'm pretty sure it does if it was cereal milk. Yeah. But it's more. It's definitely there's a slight hint of vanilla, but you definitely can taste the berry swirl for sure. And I mean the color. Sure
true.
That
cool, man.
Is all in there. But it's delicious.
That sounds good.
Shout out to Dewey for another excellent.
They try and win brewery of the year.
All right, well we ain't here to talk about milk and cereal. We're here to talk about projects and management.
Right.
Gang, 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 gang.
Right.
So without further ado, we already introduced Hazel to the platform, but now the floor is yours, Hazel, to say whatever you want. Introduce you, who you are, where you at, how you been, how you got there. I'll give you another round of applause.
Just don't talk about cereal milk.
unless you want.
I promise I won't. Even though I am a fan of cereal milk.
She said she promised.
I'm a fan.
She promised, and 5 seconds later she said,
I know. It's human.
So you would enjoy this beer. Well, smells it anyway.
I'm sorry, Hazel. Before you start, what's your favorite cereal milk?
Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs.
I like that.
I'd have to say Cinnamon Toast Crunch for me.
Yes, sir.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's a good one.
Fruity Pebbles is the second.
Why not Fruity Pebbles?
I don't like Fruity Pebbles
for me. That milk is something wrong with that milk. I feel like it's not a cornflake or something. Like the Fruity Pebble ain't
something wrong with Fruity Pebbles altogether.
Yeah, it's like a soybean or something. It don't feel like a cornflake. No?
Yeah.
Nobody feels that the same.
I mean, it does get real soft real quick. Like as soon as you put the milk on it, it like disintegrates.
It's almost like Pop Rocks, something.
I love Golden Grams, but I don't know if they have. I don't know if the milk is a distinct flavor.
Yeah, I like Golden Grams too.
I don't think it's a distinct flavor in the milk though. But the cereal is amazing. Shout out to Golden Grams.
Our cereal tangent. We can't
cinnamon toast crunch coffee make cinnamon toast crunch coffee stuff. Coffee creamer.
All right,
that's delicious. I'm just saying.
Let's bring us back on track.
Hazel.
It was Hazel's fault, actually.
It was. I take full responsibility for that. Took us on that right hand turn.
That's fine. I mean, that's what we do here. We love left hand turns and right hands.
But we thank you for coming and joining our shenanigans. Very different platform, as you can tell, different than where we met or became acquainted with each other on, right?
Very different. Very different.
Topics are so serious on the platform we usually are listening in on.
I mean, when you're talking about the interactions between Black men and Black women, that's a that's a serious topic. You end up, especially if you're getting in. Yeah, and if you're talking about the depths of it, if you're talking about places where most people kind of shy away from, or it's like, that's too sensitive or that's too hot. Let's not talk about that. And in the pairing, it gets down into it about stuff, most Black men and Black women don't sit down face to face and have those conversations about. So it becomes more tense, but I always enjoy those conversations. But whatever, how serious they may get, it always tells me, like, once you sit in a room together face to face and have certain conversations, it dispels all the tension, all the frustration, all the preconceived notions.
Mm-hmm. There's some laughs. There's some laughs had. Yeah. Shout out to Natalie Kavon.
Natalie Kavon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting.
All right, Hazel. So who is Hazel Ballard? What do you do? How you got there? What are you into? And all those good things. Why are you the PM goddess?
Yes.
I was a serial entrepreneur. I owned a couple of restaurants, a tax office, a real estate company before the 2008-9 recession. And then that kind of just broke the foundation from under my feet. So you got to the point where you're trying to figure out where to go, what to do, what skills do you have? I worked before for a government contract called BAE. Before then, I was a combat vet in the U.S. Army. So you do have a bevy of skills in which I could be able to rely on. And I ended up finding a job at the Department of Labor. And from there, I moved to the Smithsonian, to the National Museum of American History. And that's where I pretty much got a lot of my project management experience. Even though going through building businesses, having real estate company, things like that, they have a project management nature. So it was nothing that was unfamiliar to me to be able to, go on and do. But at the Smithsonian is really where I got my education, really where I got my experience, really where I was able to see, okay, and if this is what you can do for $1 billion organizations, for $1 million projects, for these things like that, what would I be able to do for small businesses? And that's pretty much where the idea for Weinstein Williams came. So I am a project manager, but I have a specialty in business strategic management as well as intellectual property. And I focused on those two because what I really aim to do is to help small Black-owned businesses be able to maximize what they do and how they do it. And I feel that Black business, Black people, period, we are American business, American history, American culture. And a lot of times that's stolen from us, and I will say stolen. And because the small businesses lack access, lack resources, lack the finances, the funding to be able to have the access to the lawyers, to the project manager, to the people who really have learned these skills in the corporate world, a lot of times small businesses, especially Black-owned, they're shunned away. Like, your customer service sucks, you don't know your inventory, you don't have a website, you don't have any follow through, your shipping, all these things where people are turned off, consumers are turned off from spending and being able to patron small Black-owned businesses. So that's where my aim came in. I wanted to be able to take the skills and the things that I've learned from being in corporate America and give it to small Black-owned businesses.
So it's fascinating because how did you accomplish all this by 23?
Oh dear.
I was thinking the same thing.
I do love the compliment. Thank you very much. I love it.
6 months in the military. What's going on?
But actually, I will be 40 next month.
Woo! Congratulations.
Amen, sis. Amen, sis.
I'll be 40 next month.
Nah, that ain't that old.
Yeah.
Nice.
Black don't crack. She said serial entrepreneur. She said serial entrepreneur, Smithsonian, military. I was like,
right. How many years is that?
How many years have you been here?
I feel like at least two generations. I'm catching up. This is my second lifetime, at least.
At least.
Right.
Because there's a lot of stuff that you come into, and I'm like, oh, this makes sense, or oh, here, or oh, this, and I'm like, I don't know how I, get into certain places. I'm just very blessed, very fortunate, very grateful to be able to do what I do and be able to have those experiences to build on and to give to other people and to actually just be the person that I needed when I was a young business owner and I was, I didn't know how to do an LLC. I didn't know the requirements of a restaurant. I didn't know about inventory. I didn't know about funding. There's all these things that I've happened to fall into. And, in that time I was living in Atlanta, Georgia, and everybody has the mindset, the game is to be sold, not told. And I was like, but wait a minute, how are we going to be able to build ourselves, build our businesses, build our communities if we are unwilling to share the information and experience that we have together? It's very counterproductive if we're thinking about it from that vantage point. So that really influenced me to be able to say, no, I want to tell people, I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to help you go as far as you can. Even if sometimes even if it's, through the free consultations that I give, we have a conversation, you take my ideas and you run with it. I will never come back like you owe me money for this. No, because that is my purpose here, to give you this information, because I know there's a lot of people who aren't.
It seems like a lot of other cultures do that. That they always go ahead, Devin. Go ahead, Devin. What do you equate?
I just equate Hazel's her business to Gordon Ramsay's Chef Ramsay's his skill set. Come in, instead of into a business or a food environment, you coming into the business environment and saying, look, here's all the things you need to unlearn, clean up, make more lean, make clean, and relaunch, so to speak.
Pretty much. Just like Bar Rescue, Gordon Ramsay, all those places, I'll come in and look at, okay, so maybe we can do this, maybe we can do this, maybe we can expose you to a different audience. Maybe you try certain things that you may not try. One I can give a freebie is the fact of, if you are unwilling to give away something for free, you're going to limit yourself into the access to people who might want to know who you are and what you do.
True.
You have to be willing to give tidbits of information.
Yeah, and I think some of this, information is valid, because I know some business do struggle with customer service and supply chain, as well as the inventory. Because you go to that restaurant, you be like, yo, this food was banging. We don't got nothing.
It's either we don't have it. It sometimes takes a long time. I patroned a black business.
It must have been a Jamaican restaurant.
I went to a black-owned business. And something that I feel like
running down the oxtail. Yeah, nigga, the oxtail.
The yams ain't never there. The
shrimp are never there. Never
right. I just wanted some rice and cabbage, and that thing took like 15 minutes. I felt like that should have been part of the morning prep.
Nah, man, we gotta grow the rice. We gotta grow the rice.
Like, I gotta wait 15 minutes for this.
That does happen though.
Well, a lot of times it's probably because they don't get the same prices as other folks do, so their costs are a lot higher. That's why if they don't have that pipeline built, where others do have that already pipeline built, where they can get the better prices. And that's why some of the meals are normally priced higher than other places as well.
Is that why Chinese restaurants normally have peak prices?
Probably, yes.
Well, there's that, and because their food isn't of the highest quality, so
true.
You kind of get what you pay for in that. Kind of like McDonald's. You get a McDonald's burger and some fries. It's gonna settle with you in a way. Where if you go to this, what I'm saying, you go to maybe another mom and pop burger place, you have a different. Exactly. You have a different experience.
Nations out in California.
Ooh, Nation. Wait, who's from California?
I actually grew up on both coasts, West Coast and East Coast. So I grew up eating Nation's burgers big time, Oakland, California.
Oh, born and raised in San Francisco. I just came out there.
Awesome.
Yes, look at that.
See?
Look at that. When you say Nations, I was like, wait a minute. There's only a handful of people that know about Nations.
Exactly. Jack London.
I have no clue what's happening right now. One Nation is under a groove. I know that.
I know what Nation is. It was a different lifetime, so I would like to ignore it.
Oh boy, that's a story there, Rob.
So Hazel, besides conditioning, small businesses from giving things away like freebies or things like that, what are some of the I would guess you would say practices that you find yourself having to maybe show or teach people to unlearn, that's kind of maybe like embedded or ingrained, and they just think, this is how I've always done it, and or this is how I've branded or marketed my business, and I can't move away from that? Do you find that there's something that just tends to stand out, or it's a little bit more profound with small businesses that always kind of maybe hinders them or holds them back?
I won't necessarily say it's all small business because it's not necessarily the business, it's the owners or the operators or the managers. And so it is, one thing about being a project manager is that I never have particular influence over, I can't make you do anything. So the only thing I try to do is be able to show you some of the benefits of what I'm talking, of what, why it maybe be necessary. So if we say, I worked with a small restaurant that said, we don't want to have a Facebook page. We don't want to have social media at all. And so it was sitting down with the owners and the management and explaining and showing them, okay, so in doing tests, a lot of times I may take out my time. Sometimes I work with clients for maybe 2 weeks to a month to show them the value of what I do before they actually become paying clients. And the one of the many reasons why I do that is, one thing is we build a trust, we build a rapport. You don't feel like I'm trying to waste your time. I'm not trying to sell you. I'm not trying to rush you. But what I am trying to do is I'm trying to show you why what I'm saying is important, and why it's not just important to you, but it's important to your business and your bottom line. So even in that experience, it's like, okay, so let's do this. Let's just make a simple fan page, and let's see the kind of receptions you get. Do you have an increase in sales? Do you have an increase in people asking you about your business? Do you have an increase in people checking in to your business? All these different things. So at the end of 2 to 3 weeks, they had, almost 150% increase in their traffic and their comments and their check-ins, and the people coming in, people were asking, do they do deliveries? And so when having these kinds of, I do experiments, that's what I call them. And I'll do an experiment and say, okay, if it doesn't work, we can just go back to doing it the way you want to do it. And, it's no harm for either one of us. Maybe takes a couple of weeks and we come back. But I said, but if it works, then let's talk about how to implement this, how to manage this, so in which it's something that's easy for you to be able to do. I believe a lot of small businesses think that everything has to be difficult, everything has to be hard, everything has to be languages, everything has to be expensive. And that's not necessarily the case. It's some very creative ways in which you can be able to maximize what you have at your fingertips to be able to operate just as the big box businesses do. And showing small business how that's possible on smaller budgets, medium budget, large budgets, and to really be able to help them be able to reach more customers, grow their bottom line, grow their revenues to places where they wouldn't imagine before.
Just hearing people still skeptical about having a social media page is strange to me.
In 2021, right?
Yeah.
It's not just the social media page, it's the management. People are overwhelmed when it comes to saying, I need to do, people tell you need to do 8 posts a day or something like this. You have to have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all these things. People just get really overwhelmed and they're just like, it's just too much. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to be bothered with it at all. So it's trying to show people what the exposure of social media can do for their business first and foremost, and then walking them into, okay, well, let's find a way for you to automate how you manage. Let's find a way to schedule. How do you do this? Let's find the way that works best for you and for your business to be able to take advantage of this medium, because it's not going anywhere.
Right. Now, do you work with many different type of businesses, or there's one type of business that's your specialty, or is just business as a whole?
It's just business as a whole. Okay. I just look at a lot of my recent clients have been more wellness, mental health, things of that nature. But I've, cosmetic businesses, film companies, restaurants.
Is the framework for the project management that you do the same for all the businesses? It just varies depending on the needs, but it's like the actual foundation of what you're bringing. Is that always pretty much the same?
It all depends on the needs of the client.
It is,
It all depends on the needs of the client. And it depends on, if I have a client who's like, well, I just need help with this one specific thing. I need help with expansion. I need help with scaling. And, maybe a client's like, no, I need from the ground up. I need to get my business started. I need to register with the state. I need to go. So they require different amounts of effort and energy from me. And also different methodologies. Because if you're talking about, I just need help with expansion. Okay, so where are you now? Where are you trying to go? What are you looking at? But if you're saying I'm trying to build my business from the ground up, that's a completely different. Completely different level of conversation.
It's no blueprint. You're different with every client you have. It seems like everything's new.
It's customized.
Cool.
Because
for sure.
because it's not a box. You know, every business has different needs. Every business has different wants and desires and goals. And if I try to put you in just a template, I will minimize the power of what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it. And everybody does their business differently. And I wouldn't want to subject them and say, no, this is a cookie cutter. You have to fit into this. Business is done this way. But if that doesn't work for you, then, you know, how is that beneficial to you? How is that beneficial to your business?
But is there one thing that you see coming across different businesses? Is it one thing that you notice that a lot of businesses have issues with that you end up having to deal with?
Automation, online, being able to, you know, their websites, their sales, their communications, you know, the customer service sometimes, being able to communicate with people. And a lot of people are, they're like a little bit, kind of embarrassed because they're, you know, if something happened to say the shipping time, the inventory is off, they're like, well, I don't want to tell them for fear that they might not come back. And I was like, well, as a consumer, if my package is late and you haven't notified me that my package is late, it's not just the fact that I'm looking at you as if my package is late. I'm looking at the way you do your business. I'm now looking to your integrity. I'm now looking to, it starts to be a very slippery slope. It's very slippery slope.
Yeah. I'm starting to wonder if you scam me and everything.
Right. All these things start to play in mind.
Say it's supposed to come on the 15th. It's going to be here on the 22nd. And you could be mad. Customer could be mad if they want, but at least we know, hey, it's going to be on the 22nd. Yeah.
And I think because white people have told us that business is supposed to be, you got to keep a good face, you got to don't tell the truth, don't be authentic, don't be transparent. That's what Black people and the business that they build that into it. Like, no, I can't say that my supplier's late. Like, no, tell them your supplier's late.
Right.
Let them know.
Yeah, that's
Let them know.
Money time, that's impacting everything.
Yo, because one thing I could say is that, like, because just thinking off of my experiences is that it's probably easier for you to go ahead and put that out there saying that it's late instead of you waiting to the point where somebody's now posting about it, saying that your business is doing this and doing that. Review. And now you trying to recover from everybody doing all these postings about it and talking about it, giving you like putting bad taste in people's mouth. Like I can imagine just if you would have just said something from the gate, all that wouldn't have even got out there.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because some things are out of your control, like that when that tanker was stuck in
the Suez Canal.
In the Suez Canal. Right. I mean, hey, I can't move that. So,
can't move that.
Even if your product ain't in the Suez Canal, you could say it may be in the Suez Canal. Everybody knew about the canal.
Yeah. I was about to say, just so happened that was public knowledge. You know what I mean?
Right.
Public knowledge is no different.
Yeah, stuff like that happens all the time.
All the time.
Yep.
Right.
Shipping containers get lost and all
the time.
Yep,
all the time. And in business, we've been taught to kind of hide and kind of run and escape accountability and responsibility. But I try to tell my business owners and my clients, this is a new day and age. The more transparent, the more authentic, the more you get in front of whatever's going on in your company, it's only going to build your reputation. It's only going to build your rapport. It's no longer a smudge on you if you're honest to say, you know what, I'm going to tell you the truth. I had an issue. Your stuff is going out. It may be a couple days late. If we'll add it. Not even tell them, but we'll add in a free gift, or we'll say, we understand if you want a refund, or we'll say, on your next order, you get 20 to 15% off. Again, being able to offer those freebies in place of whatever that is in your business, people will respect that. People understand. As long as you let them know that you're human, they respect the fact that you're human.
You could almost send it late on purpose and give them 10% off just so they buy something again.
I mean, if that's your methodology, that's what works. If that's what works. Now I don't know how many times.
But he give me 10% off every time. Look, start ordering early. Order early.
Right. Give him some. That's your new incentive, right?
Right.
Something else, Hazel, that comes to mind for me, just working in big corporations, but also working in private organizations. I imagine with small business, role delineation is super important. And I find in small businesses, you got everybody trying to do multiple task jobs, and they tend to sometimes overlap because there may be, just there's not the same group or large number of people that can do, okay, you're handling the logistics, you're handling, kind of the front of the house, and people start to, just kind of run between all those different roles. what are you seeing that being a major issue for people to sustain businesses in terms of a small business?
Yes. Because most people come in thinking, okay, I'm going to have a small business and it's going to work out in, 6 months to a year. I'm going to be able to hire staff. I'm going to be able to delegate these responsibilities and these tasks to someone else. And what they come to find is 6 months to a year, the business may not pan out the way they planned. So there's a whole lot of skills in which you have to be willing to learn and willing to invest the time and energy to have enough proficiency so when you do have somebody to come in, because the fact of the matter is, if you're unfamiliar with logistics, it's going to be very difficult for you to hire somebody in logistics and then be able to require certain standards, like, oh, this needs to be done like this, or you have to be, and I forget, plenty of businessmen have said this, you have to know every portion of your business regardless. Even if you're going to delegate it, you need to know every portion of your business. You need to know what your sales are. You need to know it first, because even if you hire somebody, they could be in the type like, we're going to BS you and say, we've done all this work. Okay, well, I need to have a backstop to find out, did you actually do this work? I need to go, can I go check with this, with someone else and say, okay, I had somebody coming out. Did they come out? Did they do what they're supposed to do? So it is necessary that business owners, they need to know every portion of their business. They need to know how it works. They need to know how to troubleshoot it, because if you do hire somebody else and something goes wrong and you need to fix it, who are you going to call? And you can call somebody to come out, but a lot of people are not going to be able to come out immediately. So how are you going to be able to remedy the issue right now?
Right.
And you see a lot of that even in like corporate America, where some of the better CEOs are the ones that work their way up, even from the mailroom. Not cliche from the mailroom, but at least they work their way up and made it to the top, where you see they actually they understand not just the culture of the company, but they also know what it was like to be an employee and what assets and things that some of the pain points that they have, right? So it's actually really. Now, do you take those same strategies? I don't even know if you work with them, but like now influencers and personal brands are a big thing. Do you work with like personal brands as well as businesses, or no?
I have a couple clients that are that.
Okay.
Influencers and stuff.
And as that's the same type of strategy do you look at as any other business, or is there something I know it's just a one person most of the time, but is there something unique or not unique about being a personal brand business, I guess?
Well, actually, nowadays it's kind of merged, where the person is the brand, regardless if they have their own company or not. The face that is presented to the public is the face that they take. So a lot of times who you are, what you do, how you do it will reflect in your business, who patrons your business, how successful your business is. So it's kind of, it overlaps. It overlaps a lot. And especially because a lot of personal influencers and brands, they end up building larger brands, but it first starts with them. So it's one of those things that, it's like one foot before the other, but they're very close and stuff. Because
I guess Kim Kardashian, is an example where she was a personal brand, I guess, at first, and now she's a
conglomerate.
$1 billion, right? Yeah, and so Rihanna too, I guess.
Don't ever sing a
stupid, Rihanna.
Don't you ever sing a song.
Filthy.
She don't have to. She got her own umbrella. I don't need you.
Right. Hey, if you were wondering if the album was coming, you got your answer. No.
Right.
Never.
She's gonna tell you, go buy some Fenty Beauty, go buy some Fenty Skin, and go buy some Savage. We'll come back
and listen to them things from 2009. I got some good joints from back then.
Right, there you go. They classic. They run their streams. Go ahead and do that.
Exactly. I collect a little bit from that too. Thank you. Appreciate it. Just a little bit.
My little royalty. Go ahead, give my thing.
Right. So being as though your mission is to I guess you would say transform, rebrand businesses, small Black businesses. Do you ever find do you think that there's a niche carved out to potentially like groom? Let's say you go into a family business, right? I'm just thinking out loud here. Let's say you go into a family business, right? And it's a small mom and pop place, but they got like the son or the nephew or somebody that's in the family business that they want to groom and work up into possibly, managing the place. But that person, he's just kind of like, he's he's living off the fat of the lamb. He or she's living off the fat of the lamb. Don't really, know the business, but they have this dream or vision that they want to groom this person up and move them up into the ranks to be able to, carry on any type of legacy. Do you ever have to do any kind of like one-on-one, I guess you would say, I guess that's more like coaching per se. You're a business coach. Yeah, mentorship. Do you ever have to do any of that to get a person ready for a role that they have no idea possibly, or they know a little bit about the family business, but not enough to take on the role and get them ready?
What I always suggest for people and I've had clients who have this experience. I have my own experience when I owned restaurants down in Atlanta. My younger brother was trying to come bring him into the business and teach him. And, nepotism is a thing, but I was like, no, you're going to be in the kitchen in the back washing dishes with everybody else. You're going to learn how this thing works.
Right.
You're going to learn how it works. And I really do think that is how it works. Learning how business functions. I know a lot of people can go to school for business, but being hands-on in the business, on the job training, that's how you learn how business works. Because there's a lot of people who can teach you about business that's never owned a business, and they can tell you that, I've been a professor at Georgetown for 25 years, but do you have a business? Do you have a successful business? Do you know what it takes to really sustain a business? Or are you just giving me your theories and your theorems about how this should be?
Right.
So I always feel like, even though you have to how can I put this? And what I've noticed in project management is you have to notice what people are good at. And you have to know their level of interest. So if somebody is showing interest and you can see where they're good at, to be able to say, okay, I see that you're really good at customer service. I want you to work here so you can learn more about that. Right. And so after you get to a certain level of proficiency, you can start bringing people in, you can start training people, and then I can start moving you to other facets of the business. But it's most times what I notice is that people aren't interested in business. They're interested in the money. They're interested in the way the success looks. They're interested in saying that they're a business owner. But a lot of people, especially the younger generation, they're really not interested in what it takes for a business to run, for a business to be successful, for your business to be consistent, because consistency will kill your business. If you are inconsistent in any way, shape, or form, your hours, your food, your prices, that drives people away.
Yeah.
Right.
How important is, like, coming into a business, let's say you have a successful business, but not defining roles and responsibilities. Like, I know how crippling that can be, but I just want to hear kind of your experience or your advice that you would give to a small business. Why is there, or should there be a lot of emphasis on specific roles and responsibility, like from the jump?
In early parts of your business, when you're building it, trying to build your structure and build your systems, maybe not as much, because just to say, there's, we can take startups, for example. You may have 4 people. You may have a multi-million-dollar business, but you have 4 people in that business. Some of their roles and responsibilities are going to overlap. If circumstances happen and half of your staff is out from sickness or from something or for some other unforeseen cause, who's going to be able to fill in for them? Who's going to be able to come in for them? There has to be some, those roles and those responsibilities will overlap. But I think once your organization gets to a certain size, or if there's continued conflict in a particular role and particular responsibilities, those need to be ironed out. Maybe not in paper, or maybe on paper, to say, okay, this is what you do. This is what you come in to do. I need you here at 8:30. I need you to do this. I need you to do this. I need you to make sure the printer's full. I need you to make sure that there are pens everywhere. I need you to make sure that the phones are, all these things. These are your responsibilities, whatever that may be. Or I need you to come in. I need you to code from 3 to 5. I need you to come in and do quality assurance from this. I need you to come in and do troubleshooting from this time to this time. One of the ways that I think that is beneficial is just performance management. It's very easy for you to be able to identify where people are strong, where they're weak, where they need to work, and how that impacts your business from the beginning. I do think that's very important. But that all depends, again, on the management style. That all depends on your goals as a business owner. That all depends on your goals as growing and scaling your business. If you're saying that I know my business is going to be small, I want it to be small, it's okay if our roles conflict, it's okay if we have that, Okay, I understand. Right, that's the way you run your business. Okay, I understand that. But if you're coming in, no, I know this business is. I've already had people come in and ask me to be able to be investors. I know this business is going to be big. I know it's going to build. I want to put the systems in place to build the correct infrastructure from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. I got a question. So how do your clients find you, or do you have to go find them?
So far it's been pretty good word of mouth. Good word of mouth from friends and other clients in which have had good experiences with me. To give their name out and tell them you need to go contact this person for this kind of information for your business needs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's
how has working with all these varieties and different types of companies helped you in your particular business?
It really helped me be able to understand that business is business. Mm-hmm. And there is really a backbone to business. Just like they'll tell you, oh, it's location. It's da 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 da. It's da 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 da. In certain, like in real estate, they'll say it's location. It's this. Where in most businesses, if you have a brick and mortar, it's location. It's your customer service. It's your consistency. It's it really builds for me a backbone of what business is, like the framework for business, not just cosmetic business, not just a restaurant, not just a wellness business, but the backbone and the framework for business. Right. And then from there, kind of be able to identify, okay, so in these businesses, there's successes. Okay, I see that businesses that are successful do this. They have these things in line. You know, to say you can deviate from that framework because anything is possible. But 8 times out of 10, I see that businesses that are successful have these things going on. Have people who are hands-on, who are very invested and very interested in their business. They're very detailed, very passionate. They can be a little headstrong, but that does work out in your business. That does work out in your business because you need the persistence, you need the determination, you need to understand the ebbs and flows of the seasons and how that impacts your business. So it's building a good recipe for understanding the undergirdings of business.
Okay. Now I'm pivoting just a little bit. I know you said you were a serial entrepreneur and you had some restaurants. Is that something you look to get back in the future, or you were like, nah, I'm good, I've been there, done that?
No, actually, I've been looking since I've been down here, looking at a number of different businesses to get myself into. I noticed. Well, I don't want to give y'all my ideas. I want.
Right. You're doing some marketing research right now. You're doing the marketing.
Right, there we go. But
I got irons in the fire.
Right, but I do see some openings. Well, not necessarily you, but we're gonna be out to the World Wide Web.
A lot of people listen to this, Yoda.
Right.
Listen, I was just trying to get her to say.
I see what you was doing. It's only 3 people listening.
I get from you.
I try, guys. Sorry.
It's 5 guys. It's just 5 people here. Come on.
Yeah.
Will you say that the venture that may be forthcoming has the pandemic kind of created this new opening, or is it just something that you've always like had on your vision board to do? Or is it kind of, again, is it more kind of the world's current state that is kind of made you go down this new path or this new marketing research that you're doing?
A part of it is something I've wanted to do, but also every place that I go, I can seemingly find the whole, like what is missing, what you're missing. Just to say, I will give you this. So being here in Mexico, I was like, okay, so you guys don't have just like ice cream smoothie places? So I can't just walk up and get just like a Jamba Juice or a Smoothie King. I can't just walk up and get that. Right. I can't just walk up and get a fresh.
Hey, these guavas, you better go get this.
Pretty much. Right. You climb that tree. And actually, that's funny because I ordered coconut water from a restaurant the other day, and they legit delivered me a coconut.
Oh,
They legit delivered me a coconut. I was like, here, we cut it open. All you got to do is just get your knife shimmy and put it in a cup. And I was just like,
boom.
Got coconut water. Well, you know it's fresh.
You know it's fresh. You know it's good. But but it's those kinds of things. So I thought about that's. I'll give you that freebie. I thought about that. There's some other small businesses where I was like, well, what if you had this? I don't see you guys don't have this. Okay, so and just really just looking at how the people asking around. So are there any of these restaurants around here? Do you see this? So what do you think about that? And just really seeing how it, the reception of it. So
you're gonna look outside next year and you're gonna see Yoda's smoothie shop.
Right. Right. That's okay. As long as I get free smoothies, we good. We're good.
Guava smoothies by Yoda.
And passion fruit.
Passion fruit.
I got you. I'm gonna have all of them. Everything.
All right, cool. Go ahead and name a smoothie after me while you at. Go ahead.
Just the more that you talk, Hazel, the more that my brain gets to churning around like black businesses and small black businesses that could benefit from your services. People that have been on our platform that are are sort of deprived of those things that you talked about from the very beginning. Access to capital. Just because hey, we as a people, they think that hey, we're not worthy, or we haven't done enough to prove ourselves yet. So I see, just even from what you've talked about, there's some people I think that I can connect you with that could benefit from what it is that you do. Yeah, that's awesome.
Right.
That's awesome.
Now, if you can give one piece of advice to a business, even a startup or even one that is, I don't want to say flailing, but at least or stuck. If there's one nugget of information that they can look at right now, like, well, this is what you probably should focus on because this is probably where it's at, without going too in depth. But there's just one piece of knowledge you can give somebody.
It's funny. I was intellectual property has been a big thing for me for like the last few years, and I think that all Black people, if you create whatever you create, you need to harness the power of intellectual property. You need to harness trademarks. You need to harness your copyright. You need to harness patents. The fact of the matter is, American business is built off of Black ideas. Rather, you take the inventions from NASA, the inventions that people come out with working for these large corporations that are Black, the dances, the trends, the hairstyles, the fashion, the music. These are all places in which Black people are we're the generators. Without us, it would be none of that. Without Black people, there would be no American culture, period. And American culture is the largest export that the United States has. So it doesn't matter. Like a lot of people who are. It is.
Yeah, but I just thought, like, thinking about how you said that, how you posed that, American culture is our biggest export. Black culture is America's biggest export, and we don't get paid what we wait for it. That's very I never thought about it. I never even put all that together like that.
When you go to Japan and you see them still doing graffiti and b-boy style, you be like, yo, all the way over here.
Everywhere. Even back, if you remember that movie Good Hair. And they were talking about nobody will ever want nappy hair. Nappy hair is not attractive. Okay, but now you're charging people $200 for nappy hair.
Right.
Now you're charging people $200 to $400 for a nappy head wig.
For faux locks. Right.
For faux locks. But you're telling me that this is not ever going to be popular. You're going to tell me these things. So it's so many opportunities. Even with the new law with the NCAA talking about college students can now be compensated outside of these slave-bound scholarships. Multi-billion-dollar corporations. I did a study for my IP law class, and it was, if we look at the NFL, we look at what the NFL generates. The NFL generated in 2019 close to $20 billion, right? So I went to go do the research. 70, they say 50, but it's like almost 70% of the NFL players are Black.
They say 50.
They say on the. I know. That's why I say 70.
They tried it.
Now they tell you, or it's rumored from the research that I did, 70 to 80% of the NFL revenue is made off of rights. If it's the rights for you, so that means that 70 to 80% of $20 billion that the NFL makes is made off of the names and the faces of their Black players. 70 to 80% of their money, their revenue comes off of those Black faces, those Black bodies. and they get paid like peanuts to a damn elephant.
Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy.
Most people don't go too deep to go dig. Even if we start digging up the NCAA, okay, so football is the most lucrative sport between professional and amateur sports, period.
Yeah.
Okay, so in NCAA, football pays for all of the sports programs, all of them. None of them make money but football. 80% of the football players in NCAA football are Black. They get paid just to say, you know what, take this scholarship for whatever it is worth, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, whatever. Take this degree. Now, we will make, I think they said University of Texas was the highest paid college, about $450 million.
Listen, for 40, and then the scholarships are yearly. Like, you don't get a 4-year scholarship. You get a 1-year scholarship that gets renewed after you complete your sporting duties. It's not even like that for kids that get academic scholarship. Like, it's not even that crazy. Like, I get a 4-year scholarship when I went to University of Delaware for my brain, but my frat gets a yearly football scholarship, and he's went to the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, just.
And what happens if you get injured?
Oh, you're done.
Then they like, oh,
you're done.
We'll fix your knee.
Yeah.
And move on, sir.
Maybe.
Move on.
Send you on your
You're
way.
right. It depends on the school. It depends on the school you went to. You're right. And it depends on how good you were. How much did you bring? Did you hurt yourself as a junior, or are you an incoming freshman? Because if you're incoming freshman, man, you better transfer.
No haps.
None. So we're talking about just for that. But when you start getting into the licensing, you're licensing my name, my face to NCAA sports, to EA sports, to all these people to be able to benefit off of my presence, but I can't benefit off of it.
Right.
No, I would tell any young Black person that's want to get in sports, you need trademarks. You need to trademark your name, trademark your face, trademark your nickname. They call you Black Lightning. You need to trademark Black Lightning, whatever it is.
Right.
The Greek Freak, he should have been trademarked. That's his. Because the fact of the matter is, once you sign into the NCAA or to NFL, they sign your rights.
They own it.
Yeah, that's part
they
of the
own your rights.
Yeah,
it's just like in the music industry. If you come in and you say, no, I have copyrights for the songs, for the compositions, for the music, for the instrumentation, we have completely different conversations when you're talking about we want to do an album. Right. We have a completely different conversation. You talk about a contract. Because usually you come in and you sign off your rights to them. They tell you when you're going to get them back. They tell you how long you're going to be and how much you're going to make off of them. But if you're an owner in your own self, again, I tried out for American Idol. I got to the second level, and they're like, okay, well, we need you to sign it.
Hold on. Stop.
Years ago.
It doesn't matter, Hazel. You're the jack of all trades. You're the master of all trades. You said you got to the second round?
When you do the tryout, you do the first round between their producers, and you do another round. So I got to the second round. They're like,
is that when you met the actual real judges?
No, that was right before.
Okay.
Before. But then I read in the contract, they say, we have the rights to your universal likeness.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, so we're not talking about global, international. You said my universal likeness. Right. That means that you can put my picture, me, on Mars.
Right.
And you own that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't sign it. I just there's no way that I could sign off my universal likeness to this company. I don't even know what my universal likeness is, nor what it's worth.
Is it perpetual? Is it forever?
I can't. No, in that contract, it was a time frame. I don't even remember the time frame.
Who cares what the time frame?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about Kelly Clarkson and Jennifer Hudson now. You know what I mean? Like, do they have it now? Do they own it now? Or is it still up in the air?
I don't know. But you know what? I did have a client who had a contract with the Chicago Bulls, right? And they were going through and they sent it to me, and I was like, do you know what they're saying? They're saying, like you said, they're saying international. They're saying that they can license it to somebody else and you don't get paid. They say in perpetuity. They say all these things. I say, okay, so wait a minute. Do you understand what this is saying? They're saying that they're going to give you 2 tickets to 1 home game for your intellectual property, for the work that you have done, that you popularized on your own.
Can't even get the whole family there.
No, and only one game. And only I was like, so we countered back, and they was like, "Oh, we're sorry."
No, it's 41 home games. I didn't even hear that. It's 41 home games.
They said
get tickets to one of them.
One game.
And just mom and dad can come. I can't even bring my little sister. Man,
you can't go to another one. You get one game, 2 tickets. And again, it was one of those things that said, so this is how they do Black creators. It doesn't matter what platform, doesn't matter what business. Even if we go back to having a conversation about Fortnite and the dance moves that they were suing on the copyrights and trademarks for it. It's the same thing. They take everything that we do, everything that we are, they publicize it, they get paid off of it, and we are forgotten and left in the wind. So my advice is to any Black creator, whoever you are, if you play a sport, if you play an instrument, if you write, if you tinker, you need to harness the power of intellectual property. That is where all the money is.
There it is.
And for the layman, what could you go into depth about? Like I feel like we have. Nah, never mind.
No. I mean,
go into more depth about what intellectual property is for people that may not know.
Kind of say, but
okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Intellectual property is anything that you think of. Anything that comes out of your brain is intellectual property. There are four types of intellectual property. There are copyrights, which covers songs, poems, books, photographs, some video material. These are options that can be copyrighted actually. Trademarks deal specifically with being able to recognize certain brands. So those are your logos, your colors, your sounds, your aesthetics. You can trademark your aesthetics, your likeness, your face, your nickname. These are things that can be trademarked. There are patents, which are inventions. Anything that can be invented. If you put how you do lace front assemblies, how you take the lace fronts out, how you put your lashes. These are all different kinds of inventions in which you can come up with or play or piggyback to that can be patented. And then there's trade secrets. And trade secrets are any special formulas, recipes in which your business may have, in which you want to be protected and keep confidential from unfair competition.
Like how to make Coca-Cola.
KFC. Them 11 seasonings. You hear 11 seasonings, you never hear what they are.
You never know, right?
That's a trade secret. That's a trade secret.
I know what they are.
Thank you. He be making KFC in the kitchen every weekend, Hazel. You ain't know.
One thing that you and I talked about, offline, that is built into your consult or your business is a 1-hour consultation. Can you briefly tell us, what you use that 1-hour consultation to do? Is it more you're kind of sharing with your potential client what your business is, or what does that 1-hour consultation look like? What does it consist of?
Usually my 1-hour consultation is to do one thing. It's to do 2 things. It's to get more familiar with who you are, what you're doing, as well as why you're doing it, and if we're a good fit. I think that a lot of times we try to work. Say it again?
I was just saying vetting, getting.
Oh, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Because I feel like sometimes you can have a good idea, but sometimes, our personalities may clash, or we may have some differences that are beyond or outside of being able to be worked. And so it's like, I do think that you have a good business. You think I just don't think you will work well with me, and I may not work well with you. So let's not waste each other's time. But it's really for me to get more familiar with you, who you are, what you do, what are you trying to do? Do you have any dreams or goals? Is this something? Is this a part-time project, or this is something that you feel is your life purpose? Do you feel like you're going to be successful at it, or do you just feel this is going to be a run by night hustle? Like, what is this to you for me to be able to do that?
When you come across that situation where you don't feel like it's a fit for you, is there somebody that you refer them to that may be able to help them, or?
I refer them to a couple of different people who may be able to help them. I also refer them to a bunch of resources that may be able to help them first. Because a lot of times before you work with people, you might want to educate yourself on what you want to do, how you want to do it. Because so then when you come to this conversation, you know, people, one, they're unable to take advantage of you. And two, it just brings your mindset, your perspective different when you come in to start thinking about your business and when you start saying what your goals and what you want to achieve in your business.
You ever had anybody go do that research that you suggest and then come back to you with a whole different mindset?
Yeah.
Dope.
All right.
Nice. I think it took 6 months to a year for them to come back, but yeah, they came back.
They came back.
They came back.
They came back. They did the work.
Right, did the work. Like Ayala say, I did the work.
Earlier, you spoke about I'm over here, and you said here's Mexico. What made you leave America and move to Mexico?
He was not right. He was on, right?
I was told to log on time.
It's okay. There was some
and the
personal.
fans don't know. The
That's
fans
true.
don't know Hazel.
You're right, and you were here, so okay. There was some shifts that personally that I had that pointed me into this direction. But I've for the last probably.
You know when people run to Mexico, you know. They run for the law.
No, sir. No, sir.
I was gonna say
it wasn't a legal matter. None of the above. None of the above. None of the above.
Hard in America. It's hard drugs in America.
Narcos.
She minding her business. That's what she's doing in Mexico. Minding my business.
Right.
Thank you.
I know what she's doing. It's fun.
Yeah, but I was good thinking about moving to Puerto Rico. I found a farm that was like a 20-acre farm for like a little bit of nothing. But after they had issues with their infrastructure and everything like that, I was like, okay, well, let me look at the next best option. So I ended up here. It was either between here and Costa Rica.
Are you fluent in Spanish?
I am getting more fluent, but not fluent. I can speak a little. We can understand small conversations, where I need to go, what I need, stuff like that. But
like I know how to get guava juice.
She know how to say Tito's.
I say Tito's. And I'm gonna say make the next left. Where I need to go, order stuff like my day to day trying to get full blown out conversations. Not there yet.
I think that's really brave and courageous of you to go out there and not knowing the language like you do, and that's cool.
Yeah.
So living abroad.
Before I gotta go back to this because it's just throwing me off. So the American Idol thing. Was you singing? Was you doing singing?
Yeah.
What else do they do in American Idol?
People get on there and do dumb stuff like they got on to do. Like
she was reading the contract. She was reading the contract.
You think she went on there to read the contract?
No, I think she went on there to win the thing. I think she went on there to win the thing.
Second round, they said, no, she's too smart for this.
Right? She's like, I'm out of here. She didn't make it to the second round because she didn't want to. She quit. She's like, I'm not signing this. I can't keep going if I'm gonna sign this.
I mean, that universal likeness really just was like,
I was going
it really stuck with me.
If you could sing for us.
She said, "That's like the question."
Look, now she's trying to act like she's frozen.
Well, without breaking into song, what was the song that you planned on singing on American?
What
did you sing to get to
the first round?
Right.
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember? I remember the song that I
did. Did it kind of break your heart when you read the contract?
Oh no, I was completely turned off. After that, I've never watched another American Idol.
Were you really in it? Like, I could be the American Idol when you. Of course you were. Like, and then it's just like screw this.
Yeah,
shit.
no, I was really a fan. I used to watch it. I saw Ruben, Fantasia, all of them. And then when I went through that process, I was like,
suckers.
I don't like that. Is this how y'all do people? Right. I never watched another episode again.
Because she could read. So they was like, you know what?
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Yo, those little stipends, if you want to call them that.
Oh, man.
That little money they make to be on TV.
Now.
You can't live off of that. You can't I didn't even and pay nobody rent with that little bit of money they give you per day. That's just enough to eat.
It's crazy because even I've known rappers, popular rappers, they have hits on the radio and they asking, my friends at the time, you got some money to put in my car, driving the flyest Cadillac Escalade at the time and couldn't put gas in your car. I mean, it's just like, come on now, guy.
What's the rapper? Go ahead and put him out there.
Ooh, no.
You don't gotta say his name. What song was it?
Ooh, that's saying his name. That is saying his name.
We could try.
I know.
Shady McGrady.
Was it
Shady.
Was it South or was it the West?
West Coast? Was he?
No, it was South. It was South. They were out of Atlanta.
They're
out of Atlanta.
We
We going to lean. Okay, so what part of Atlanta?
Are they still rapping?
No, he's not. Well,
No.
I mean, he may. Wait, I take that back. He is still a rapper. I don't know if he's still rapping.
Oh, okay. But
Is he putting rapper on his tax form still?
I have no idea. I don't even know if he files taxes. For what? You can't put money in your gas car.
Right. True. I don't have $13.
All right. Do we have any more questions for Hazel that pertain to?
I'm just saying.
Oh man.
Oh God, nah.
Oh, this is great. This is great. But the things that you learned, you didn't. Who knew you were on American Idol, or auditioned to American Idol? We knew that would come out in the conversation.
Right.
We definitely know that she is multifaceted. She do it all: singing, businesses, military. So she can probably kill you with her bare hands.
That's
right. One pinky finger.
No, but that's. But
she's like, yep, I can. Good.
Like the more
what
the
forces
more
was
I
it?
think about
What branch of the military?
Army.
Army.
Yeah.
Army.
I was a military
Thank you for your
intelligence
service.
analyst.
Thank you for your service. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Okay. No, now the Smithsonian makes sense. We know that's code for.
Oh, God.
Smithsonian, Mexico.
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
Are you
That's
still
the
in the
same thing.
military? Are you still in the military?
No.
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 Is that what you're trained to say? I don't know. I don't know, Hazel. Hazel's a spy. Hazel's a spy, guys.
No.
I'm just gonna say it.
Can we not do that? Can we not do that? Can we not do that? That's why. You just, and if I was a spy, first of all, you just blew my cover.
You should
just
be on this
pinpointed where I was.
Yeah,
You should have been on this podcast. Your cover's blown by just being here.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't right.
Right.
Yeah, ain't right.
That's it.
The connection
Yeah,
is
right.
going down though. The connection's getting slower and slower as we talk.
And it'll just turn to black in just a second. You'll see it. We'll be gone. Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. The whole room get black.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I blew your cover, Hazel.
Blew it all the way up.
Now she's starting sweating now.
I'll tell you.
She gotta call her higher ups after this. Her higher ups on the phone right now.
Nah, the black truck's full up. Yeah, you don't call nobody. The black truck is full up. We heard you.
You out.
We heard you.
Out. Jesus.
He said the project management questions was easy. Now they get to the hard ones.
They said the last question. I thought it was it. Why is he asking more?
All right, we want to thank Hazel for coming on.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Definitely very informative. A lot of information, and I think we got a lot. There's a lot more stories in there that we probably need to unpack later, some other time.
When you open up Hazel's Jamba Juice, we'll ask you more questions.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
You mean when I open up my smoothie shop?
No, you're smoothie. She's doing the Jamba Juice.
Oh, I'm doing it all.
Oh, you just taking it.
Well, look, like I said, that was a freebie.
Right.
That's the reason why I didn't tell you about my other stuff that I was working on.
Because you knew who he was.
Take that freebie. Hey, there's always one.
What you said? They ain't got the water ice. They ain't got the water ice there. Okay, subs. Okay, I'm here.
Hey, they do have Subway, but
that's
ain't no sub.
That's a sandwich shop.
I'm going
and it ain't even that.
I'm gonna get down there and do some authentic braiding because you know white folks like to come back with braids in their hair. I'm going down there.
Yeah.
No, the Mexicans got that on lock too.
Oh, do they?
They got the braids with the different colors, with the stitches.
Are they wearing it or are they doing it for the tourists?
A little bit of both. There's some people who are here that I'm like, I know you ain't got no green hair when you go home. I know you. I know you are not walking around with green cornrows. I know that ain't doing that, but they have like braid shops like almost every 2 to 3 blocks when you go to the touristy areas. They have braids.
Ladies getting their hair did.
All right. Well, there it is. Before we go, we always like to know how people can find you on these worldwide webs or get in touch with you and learn about how they can get in that 1 hour business consultation. So how can they find you on these worldwide webs?
On Instagram, you can find me at I am PM Goddess. On Facebook, you can find me at Hazel M Ballard. I'm saying I'm the only one. And on the internet, you can find me at www.weinsteinwilliams.com.
There it is.
Awesome.
There it is.
Awesome.
Lou, how can they find you?
I'm Lou Belgium. I'm on them Instagrams.
All right. Dev?
You can find Dev on Instagram at Dev Drinks Craft Brew.
I ain't gonna bring this up that Hazel's internet is better than Dev's and she out.
It's trash, bro. It's trash. That's where I'm at. Trash. It sucks.
Man, I love it when he started out. I ain't gonna.
I'm at a good hotel too. I feel some kind of way. I'm at a good hotel.
Talk to the management then. You need to talk to the management.
Right.
You need to tell Hazel to talk to the management. They need to figure out a plan.
They need to figure it out, right?
Right? We need to help reinstall their wireless. Hey.
Exactly. The beach is not a reason for the Wi-Fi to be out.
They ain't got the right vendor. They ain't got the right vendor.
Right.
Something.
All right, yeah.
With that $3.99.
Oh, you can find me in the club.
Did Dev say it? I forgot. Did Dev say it? You did say
Well,
it,
no,
right?
He
internet
broke
broke
up. He broke up. That's what made you talk about his internet.
I'm a regular on here. They know how to find me.
So you can find me that. Whoa.
All right, yo.
You can find me in the club, bottle full of bucks. You can find me on Instagram at IM302 Yoda.
And you can find Bruising Banter Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Bruising Banter Podcast. On Twitter, obviously at Bruising P. You can listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can even say, Alexa, play Bruising Banter Podcast because we're on Amazon Music. You can also go to www.bruisingbanter.com and get that merch. And you can also check out all the other streaming services that we are on. Like I said, we everywhere. Remember to smash that like button on YouTube and Facebook. Smash, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. You want to follow me, Rob G? There it is. Rob, stay bruising. Bang, bang, bang. I need no.
You look far away. Yeah, you look. That was off. That was
pretty good.
My arm is far away.
Yeah,
like that.
Yo, stop. That looks stupid. That arm looks dumb.
Like a chicken wing.
Double arm.
It's like you're about to fly away.
Grab my little, it look like you grab my little hand.
Right, though.
From the scary movies.
This has been episode 132.
It's in the front. It's not in the back.
Huh? Oh, he's still talking about that. This has been episode 132 of Bruising Banter Podcast. Once again, want to thank Hazel for coming through.
Yes, thank you, Hazel. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you.
Until next time.
Have a good week, everyone.
Next time, bye, people.
Outro.
Oh, I don't even care about this music, Rob. Send this to me. I don't care what they say.